Welcome to Drone Brothers Radio, where we explore the crossroads of drone innovation and the construction industry. Join us as we share insights, stories, and strategies shaping the future from the sky and the ground up.
Well, welcome, John. So if you want to introduce yourself, your full name, and your role at the company.
Sure. My name's John Ruttkofsky, and I work for Oliver Hatcher Construction. I'm currently a project manager for them, for their client, Ashley Capital. That's my main client for them.
Perfect. And John, how long have you been in the construction space?
I've been with Oliver Hatcher for going on 6 years, but previous experience another 13, so 19 years total in the industry to date.
Perfect. And when you came to Oliver Hatcher, did you start off as a project manager? What was your role when you first came to the company?
It was. I left my previous company of 13 years where I was the VP of operations and came to Oliver Hatcher as a senior project manager for them, specializing in some of their clients, their specific repeat clients, Ashley Capital.
Beautiful. And what do you love most about the job, and what do you love most about working for Oliver Hatcher?
What I love most is going to the project management position again. It's more of the day-to-day, more of the on-site, being part of the team with the guys, not as much of the 10,000 view as you might in the management position. So I appreciate that. The beautiful thing at Oliver Hatcher is the repeat work with a certain client, so you really get to know what they're looking for and what they want, so you can keep trying to tune that in and get better and just know what they want and try and get ahead of them. They also have a lot of repeat work with the subcontractors, so you get to know them well. They understand that process too, so you build a really strong team for your client, and it works well, trying to bring everything together. So
beautiful. Are you guys typically on your sites on a regular, like every day, or is half your time or more than half time spent in the office managing, and then you out visit the sites a couple times a week?
Yeah, there's a good mix there, which I appreciate as well, getting out on site again. I'm probably on site more than some of the other project managers, just because I like that. If I can head off problems sooner than later, that helps the job, being in the field, working with the engineers and superintendents, and just keeping a good feel on where things are at. But I do also work in the office probably a couple days a week. So you kind of split your time up depending on how many jobs you got. And our progress meetings on site, I'm always on site for those. A couple days out of the week as well.
And that's my next question: is in today's day and age, that do project managers typically manage multiple jobs, or is it typical that a project manager has one job and that's enough to fill your day?
I manage multiple jobs. I guess it depends on the complexity of a job and the client of what you're building. Some of our projects, or mine specifically, are campuses, not just one specific building. So it'll be a 400-acre campus, and there'll be multiple buildings and infrastructure to build that campus. So those can consume your time a little more than just a specific job.
Got it. So on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being very little technology, where do you put yourself as far as loving technology and using technology and adapting to technology? So are you I can't live without, give me more technology all the time, or just does technology spook you a bit? What's your thoughts on technology?
I'm probably a 3, maybe a 4. Maybe if there's a 3.5, put me there. So
Okay.
I have nothing against technology. It is a great tool to make us more efficient. The only complication for me is keeping up with it, because technology never stops evolving, and for good reason. To be better, and just trying to keep up with how to use it to be effective is probably the biggest challenge, just staying up on that. But outside of that, the technology, specifically in the construction industry, has come a long ways, and it's definitely beneficial for the clients and the GCs.
Kind of wasn't going to ask this question, but how do you keep up on technology? How does a typical PM keep up on technology these days as it's moving so fast?
Yeah, Oliver Hatcher does a good job of a lot of training, lunch and learns, different things. And then a lot of times the technology these days have a lot of quick access to training modules and quick tips or things of that nature. But again, it does take time. It doesn't matter if you're in training or you're getting those quick tips. You have to take the time to learn them and do it. So it can be time consuming. I guess the benefit of that is once you do learn the new processes, it actually makes your job more efficient or quicker. So it's the upfront to get you long-term success
Yeah.
from the technology.
And when did you first learn about drones? What was your first experience, and when did you first learn about drones and first use drones in your career?
It was when I started Oliver Hatcher, actually. Drone Brothers was part of the process. I think it was relatively new. That was my first interaction with it, and obviously with larger campus projects, when you're talking 400 acres or even a single building, to be able to see that from abroad to give you an understanding of what you're looking at has been very beneficial.
How are you benefiting from drone tech today? Like, what feature or tool couldn't you, if we took it away from you today, what couldn't you live without today regarding drone
Uh,
tech?
we have bi-weekly progress meetings with the owner, and the progress drone videos are perfect to put up on a screen and try and show them where they were 2 weeks ago and where we're going forward. On top of that, if there is issues on site, and I'll use as an example drainage, water, when you're on a big campus or a site like that after a rain event, or just seeing the campus and how the water flowed over a large scale area has been very beneficial to pick and choose how to get rid of that and keep the site dry enough to do the work that you want. And that's just one example of many to be able to see from above like that.
Take that water example. How did you, 5 years ago or 10 years ago, when you first got in this space, how did you track that stuff? How would you have dealt with or known about these problems or dealt with these problems before drones were around?
You'd fight through it more in the field, right, with your field guys, and you'd be walking sites. You'd be finding other resources. I would say boots on the ground type of management versus large overscale that the drones allow, which makes it a lot quicker, more efficient, cost effective to be able to see things from the sky like that.
Got it. As we've learned the construction space over the years, the big three in construction is always how do we save time, how do we save money, and how do we increase safety? Are there any examples that come to mind of kind of how drones have saved you guys time, saved you guys money, and increased safety on the job sites?
I'd say schedule wise, like I said, if you can see things ahead of time when you're prepping a campus, and you can be prepared of what challenges you might have as you progress forward into that campus. Drainage was one of them. You have that instant feedback that you can try and get ahead of it, schedule wise, prepare for things down the road. Money wise, again, when I said when you're trying to figure out a site and your boots on the ground, that's a big task when you're talking about 400 acres versus a quick drone flight, and you can bring all the heads together in one room and oversee what's going on out on the site and make the best decisions going forward. So, and then from a safety standpoint, obviously, it's that 10,000 view or seeing the site from different angles that you wouldn't be able to from the ground is invaluable in itself, just from a safety standpoint.
Got it.
You won't be able to catch everything on your just walking like that. So you're just getting another perspective, another angle
Again, I don't know how you guys did this how would you manage a 400-acre site? Because everything in your world was always from the ground level. Even if you have an iPhone in your hand, you're seeing everything from that ground level, and now all of a sudden you've got this perspective of being able to see the entire site in one glimpse, and not having to walk across 350 acres to get to something. You can see it all in one screenshot. It's kind of like that saying, "A picture is worth 1,000 words." I mean, a picture from the air has got to be worth countless hours and money savings from being able to see everything in one spot. I know you're not in the new business development side of things, but how do you think, looking kind of from 20,000 feet up, how do you see drones helping Oliver Hatcher kind of differentiate themselves in the industry, and not just drone technology, but how do you see technology kind of separating you guys from the competition? So when you're going out to meet with clients and prospective clients and to win more business, how do you guys see technology playing in that role?
Yeah, I mean, it's no brainer to be able to put a time lapse video that you guys create, seeing the projects of a large scale. There's no way to take a photo from the ground and capture a campus or a building of 500,000 to 1 million square feet. It's going to be different snapshots to try and create the picture that you're trying to show, versus a drone video that's encapsulating the whole thing, and bring you different angles that you wouldn't from just a camera on the ground. So I guess that's the simple answer for that, from a sales marketing standpoint, for them, what they can show in a quick time, quickly on a video to a client, to show them projects of the past and what they can do. And then just technology in general for Oliver Hatcher, whether it's us or anybody, you're trying to keep up with it because you want to provide your client with the latest and greatest that's out there. Obviously, that it benefits them from a project and from a value side of things, but that's always something that everybody's trying to do as well.
In your experience over the last 19 years, what have you seen the changes happen from the owner's perspective? They're obviously getting more sophisticated. Are they asking, and are they learning about this stuff and demanding, coming to you and kind of pushing to say, hey, we need to have a couple ground pictures to document this stuff? Then it became, hey, can you get me cardinal pictures from 4 corners of the site?
The client isn't always an expert in construction. Obviously, that's why they hire us. And when you can bring them real life videos and pictures of this magnitude, it really brings things to light when you're trying to explain to them your situation, or what's going on in the field. Like you said, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and when you can show them something, hey, we're having issues with such and such, and here's how or why, it's very easy to explain. Or you can even screenshot it and circle something or mark it up and really hone in on something to educate the customer. So they love it. They're big fans of it, and they want that because it just helps them as well. And they're part of the ride from the beginning to the end, not just setting in progress meetings, hearing schedule updates. They can see the progress that matches the schedule. They go hand in hand, and I think they really appreciate that aspect of it.
Beautiful. What advice would you give to someone just getting out of college and just starting the career in the project management world? What advice would you give them regarding drones and technology to a younger version of you coming into the space?
Yeah, I just tell them to try and stay on top of it. Right? It's amazing where it's came and where it's at now in the short time I've been in it. And I can only imagine the pace that it's moving now, to just stay up on it, stay tech savvy, because not only is it beneficial to the client, but it's obviously beneficial to us. It makes our jobs more efficient, and they can be better at what they do, fingertips away, quick. And everything just seems to be faster and faster, whether it's the construction or everything. So that information being passed back and forth will benefit all sides, but you'll have to stay on top of it.
Is there a go-to site that PMs and soups go to learn technology? Is there anything that comes to mind that's like a where do you find information on technology? Where do you learn? Where do you go personally to learn about technology?
Well, Procore is kind of the platform, the database that everybody's using right now for project management or document control, which is a new um, platform. It used to be Timberline, and that's already kind of elevated itself on how things have changed with that and what the capabilities of Procore can do. Outside of that, the technology, drones or security on site, different things of that nature. The beauty of being in this business, a lot of the suppliers come to you actually because they're trying to sell their product,
Yeah,
or introduce new ideas to projects. So you're always willing to um, take a look at what's out there, and wow, this is better than this, and how would this benefit our client? And then you'd walk them through it too. Is this something you're interested in? Some clients don't need as much as others, but it's always good to give them those options and be ahead of it if you can. So
got it. Is there something you wish drones or technology could do today that not doing? What is there anything else that you think of? Gosh, I wish I could have this tool here. Is there anything that comes to mind?
I'm sure it's going to do something that I'm not even thinking of here in the future, the way things are going. I didn't hit on it in the video yet, but even volume of materials on site, we use that. When you're pushing large amounts of dirt on a site, you can do different piles and get calculations, whether it's stone or clay or topsoil or whatever you're doing as a quick calculation, and that helps too when you're managing volumes like that. So
So stockpiles. How did you used to? What was the? Not that it's old school way, and we're not looking to take surveyors out because they're going to get drones and adapt drones as well. But what was the old school way of doing stockpiles? So before drones came along, and you had 10 stockpiles on a site you needed to measure. How long would that take to get that done, and what was the cost? Was there a big cost difference for doing that compared to what we're able to do today?
yeah, like you said, you mentioned the surveyor, whether it was them or earthwork subcontractor, and basically doing a quick topo or survey of what piles you had, measuring it, and just doing it the old school, mathing it out. It's this tall, this wide, etc. To come up with the volumes versus a quick drone flight that can hit multiple piles all in one shot, produce a report that can segregate the different types of piles and the different volumes. Again, much quicker, more efficient. The cost of the drone versus the surveyor, depending on how long it takes, how many piles, you can cut that in half as well. So,
Got it. If you had 5 stockpiles on your site and you had to have a surveyor come out and do those 5 stockpiles, how much time does it take to actually, from the time if you ordered a report today and they were there at noon today, when would you typically have the answers to your questions? Would that be the same day, a couple of days later, a week later? What was the typical turnaround for a stockpile report?
if it was through the surveyor, depending on his availability, right?
Yep.
Is he on site? Do I have to coordinate him to come out there? And that's where if the surveyor would take too long, you'd probably use the earthwork guy and you'd measure out the pile and come up with some estimations of what the pile would be versus Drone Brothers. Again, their schedule, what their availability, but once they're on site, it's a quick shot of that, and then an instant report is usually the next day.
Anything else you want to add that we didn't cover?
I just say I've enjoyed the experience with Drone Brothers. I can be, and the industry can be very demanding at times. Hey, we need this, we need that, and I've appreciated the turnaround and the help. Julie's been unbelievable in the 5 years I've been there working with her. She's kind of my go-to when I need something, and she usually makes it happen. So I appreciate that, and just look forward to continuing the relationship.
Well, beautiful. Yeah, Julie is the go-to person, and She reports back to us who the mean superintendents and PMs are. So she'll let us know who the guys that are the hardcore mean ones. We'll hear about it. And I have not heard your name come up yet, John. So you should be thankful for that.
She still likes me. I like it.
Julie still likes you. Yeah, as long as you stay on Julie's good side, you're in good shape.